with music law is we as lawyers, we are masters of IRAC, identifying issues, trying to provide solutions. And now, how can we, having qualified as lawyers, how can we find our space in the entertainment business to provide solutions? So we're a solutions provider. People will run to you, they'll be like, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do this. And they expect you to be able to provide a solution. And I have a professor figure that always says, God forbids that any lawyer knows it all. So as a lawyer, people look up to you and they give you the benefit of the doubt that you have it all figured out. And then you have to maintain composure. You can never be seen to not have something to say. Even if you don't have it like now, just assure the client like, hey, I'm the magician. You think I know everything, but I also need to consult the oracles. So you can't always act like I don't know. And that's something I tell lawyers. People just put you on a pedestal like you're all knowing, you know everything. But you have to just be calm. The reason why someone is talking to you is because they think you should know, or you should know somebody who knows. So music law is an area of law where lawyers, by virtue of their training and many years of experience, are able to service practitioners, investors, professionals in the music business. Now, music is very, very collaborative. There are all types, all kinds of characters coming together to make sure the business is headed for profit. So it starts with the talent. It starts with the talent. How many of you understand that for you to even be able to provide legal service or legal representation, you have to understand the business even more than your clients? So the general test is if you're maybe like in the elevator with somebody like Salutza. If you're in an elevator with somebody like Don Jazzy, can you speak on issues that would keep him engaged for like 10 minutes? As a lawyer, it helps if you know like the A to Z of your business for your client, like of the business of your client, because it puts you at an advantage. So a key component to we being able to function optimally will be, even after everything we've done today, I'll be speaking for like 2 hours. Even after all this, there are certain things we need to start to consume. There are certain resources that would help us be better informed, and we'll be able to, really, really sit at the table with any client. If we are working with an investor, if you're working with an actor, an actress, or all these skit makers, all these influencers, you will be able to see the journey from, okay, this is usually the journey. This is like all the streams of income for you. And then the mastery of the business will be able to inform providing quality representation, because you'll be able to forecast. These are the places where the bones are usually buried. These are, in a year and 2 years, these are the challenges you'll be facing. How can I prepare you to properly walk this journey, having the mindset that you have to avoid certain hurdles that will definitely come? And that is what makes you very valuable to the client. There are going to be more people coming into this industry and the competition will start to. But the people that would excel will be the guys that can also help people make money. So you can't just be the lawyer that you're just the paper pusher. Oh, all you do is wait for people to have problems before you add value. Nah. In fact, this is more of a deal-making area of practice where you have to be able to hold your clients by the hand and take them through doors. Like, these are the different opportunities available in film, in comedy, in production, in music. So I'll be limiting a lot of what I'll be saying, to my personal experiences. I can only share my own experiences. And when we're starting out, you would find that there are many, many areas that are being left unattended to. Another thing that will make you quickly stand out would be to identify those areas. So with music law, you are a lawyer looking to represent all kinds of players. For me, I figured that the people that were not being represented were the record producers and the songwriters. A lot of the superstars, all of the big lawyers, I could never even compete with them. There were already people who were representing the Debanjis or the P Squares. And as a young lawyer, like 2 years, 3 years at the bar, who am I to compete with these big names? So what did I do? I just channeled it like, okay, the funny thing is all these big guys are taken. Let me go to where I would be valuable, where I'll be needed, where I can be the stand-up guy for the guys that do not have a voice yet. And there are many, many areas in this business. You would be shocked that in less than a year, in less than 2 years, you can be the go-to person for representing these types of practitioners. Let me give you an example now. So with music, one of the issues that talents usually grapple with is the access to funds. And a lot of the times, like even with structuring deals, how they get people to fund their productions, we do not have lawyers that really, really understand it from point A to point Z. So you find out that even the lawyers that call themselves music lawyers or entertainment lawyers don't have a clean understanding of what it means to finance a business. Many lawyers have never even been to a record studio. They do not know, the what we call the pathway from, listen instrumentals to the instrumentals making money. And if you are going to come up with an agreement to fund, you have to be able to understand it. What is the journey from moving at creating a copyright to maybe arriving on the Billboard chart? So an area that you could look at would be, okay, I want to champion helping these guys get $1 million, or let's denominate it in dollars because this is a dollar denominated business. How many of you want to earn FX? Everybody. So this is a dollar denominated business. If you are going to be doing music law, you're not a local lawyer anymore. So you'll be doing transactions that are dollar denominated, advising on contracts that are dollar denominated, also earning your fees in dollars as well. So if anyone is trying to access funding, $10,000, $20,000, you as a lawyer who understands finance, who understands business, the music business, who understands the instrumentation of law as well, for helping to forge these types of deals, you'll be able to, take a back seat, listen to your clients, think about it deeply, and then provide a solution. Because as you journey in that space, you will start with just one client, you will start with one investor, or you will start with one lending body, and then it starts to pile up. Very soon, you know how to, go into the bank of industry, get the money for your clients, you earn your commission, and then, before we know it, if you are very, very social media savvy, or if you're a content creator as well, like I am, you'll be the go-to guy for getting the funds. And that is your own way of just providing solution that is not common. Not every lawyer will be able to package that solution. So I'm giving it to you as an assignment. If you really want to do this thing, you must understand the journey of your would-be clients, which would usually be the talent or the investor or any of the professionals working in their different in the different sectors. Another example I would like to give of this music law thing is there are people who call sound engineers and film composers that are underrepresented. When I do my webinars, when I do my trainings. Everybody's always asking me that I should do something for these guys. But I can't. Why? I'm just one man. Okay, if my law firm has like 5 lawyers. But even at that, we can't even branch into that space because it's a lot of work. And we're still grappling with representing songwriters and recording artists and record producers. We do not have what it takes in human capital. We might have some experience like one-offs, or might even understand the knowledge behind how they make money, but we can't build that niche. So I've given you guys 2 examples now that you can start to just build and work and leverage. So that is the thing. Music law, there's a space for everybody. Now let me dive into. I didn't even prepare a presentation, so why am I looking at the board? So you guys should, if you have any questions, we'll take it after, I go through everything. So I've given you 2 expos. In the music business, you must find your own space. A lot of people will be running after the same thing. See, Whiskey, Burna Boy, and the likes. So a lot of young lawyers even come into my DMs. They will tell me, "Oh, I like what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. How can I have a client like Whiskey?" And I'll be like, you don't even understand it. Those guys are already made. Their structures are already solid. Even myself, I can't unseat their lawyers. People like Whiskey, they have lawyers in like different continents. They have big, boxed up guys that you'll be lucky as an upcoming lawyer, maybe like 3 years, 2 years post call, to be able to even be in the same room with those types of talents. They've done all the deals. What other thing would a 2-year post call lawyer have to offer? Yeah, I still believe in miracles. But again, I don't want to be the guy waiting on the lottery to make it in life. Some people are just betting. Maybe one day they play the bet every day. While there are some who want to be in charge of how the vehicle of their destiny is moving, which is whatever you put in, even whether you pray or not, whether you believe or not, there are certain principles that for every action, there should be a reaction. Or for everything you upload, there should be a download. If you put garbage in, you get it out. And if you invest the time wisely and your resources into certain things, it is just the law of nature that there will be the results at the end of the day. So a lot of you would have all those kind of very, very interesting aspirations. You just want to come on the scene and just make a big splash. I'm sorry, music law is not kalu kalu. It will never happen like that. To take you, being invested, and it starts with acquiring knowledge. This is the best place to start. And then the second thing would be about you understanding the journey of the players. Who is a music publisher? Should I list out characters for you? Who is a music publisher? Who is a record producer, recording artist, sound engineer, talent manager? Who are the stylists? Who are the influencers in the music business? The dancers. There are many people to just represent. In fact, we have a new layer of people coming in now who are becoming more structured. There are people who have deep pockets and who understand music technology that are always looking to play in music business. Because these people understand that the proof of concept is already there. Like 10 years ago, we didn't have this many superstars in the business. Like every other day now, there's a Nigerian shutting down a 20,000 capacity, maybe in London, Birmingham, in Manchester. When the same Nigerian is flying to the Maldives, going to France. How many of you take, okay, like if I want to really be gingered, do you know where I go to on Instagram? I just go to Davido's stories and I go to Wizkid and I go to Burna Boy and I'm like, 10 years ago, there was nothing like this. And we are even yet to scratch the surface. And you'll be shocked. Afrobeat to the world, Afrobeat to the world, that's the popular lingo. But we've not even started. We have not even started. So now we have like, maybe we have like 25 superstars that are able to fill up capacities in Africa and Asia and all of that. But there will be a time where there will be like, just like in America, that you can have 100 people that are really, really kicking. When I say kicking, they are bagging bags and making a lot of money. And all these people will need people like us. And because I mentioned earlier that it's a dollar denominated business, that is the pool for this new level of investment in the business. They've seen that, oh, like 3-4 decades ago, this same country gave them Fela Nicola Kukuti. But now, we're having like 25 international superstars. Now I can keep mentioning their names. Yemi Alade, Flavor, Scales, Wiz, Bonner, Omale, Kiss Daniel, Asha. I can't even count. Again, because all these guys, okay, let me paint a picture for you as well. But let me finish this point. All these new investors are seeing and they are following and they are tracking the money. They are saying, okay, what does 25 million streams, what does it mean? They're saying, oh, why are these guys always jetting out? Like in a week, a typical Wizkid or Burna can do like 4 shows in like 4 different countries. And they are getting bags like, okay, this is the picture I want to paint. A Wiz or a Burna probably makes, anytime you see them get on a plane to go do a show, they make from $80,000 to like $350,000 to do the show. Okay, so if you're a lawyer and you just want to take 2% regularly, if you're able to do that kind of deal, do you know your practice? How many of you know that there are lawyers now that travel with their clients, their A-list clients, and they're just moving country to country? Some people will be saying, but Yemi, shey if you do am, why? Why won't I do it? Yeah, because a lot of lawyers will be like, all right, is it professional that you leave your law firm? I'll be like, you people don't know what's going on. You don't know. If you know, you would also be like suiting up because immediately, do you know how many people are snatching clients? Some American lawyers, some UK lawyers, immediately the Nigerian talent announces his presence on the international scene. They are sending proposals and they are working around the clock to snatch the clients. So the international lawyer, maybe based in New York, has a big office, is going to get in touch with the talent manager and be like, does he have international representation? And you, as his lawyer, if you're not smart, because trust me, entertainers are very fickle as well and they move very fast. With due respect to Kanayo. So they can easily, change their mood, and that's what makes them creative. They are on the go. And if an international lawyer shows your client like, hey, you're there with a Lagos lawyer, look at what you should be. In fact, when you go into, it's show business. When you go into their offices, you see plaques on the wall. Oh, this was me with Michael Jackson when I was alive. I was his lead lawyer. They will tell all kinds of, and the Lamba will be landing. And you'll be like, oh, you've represented Michael Jackson. And then the entertainer is thinking, okay, oh man, that my Lagos lawyer, they try you, but trust me, I will travel with any of my premium clients. I will do everything they need to do. For them, I will be there by their side. As in, there's no shame in my game. Because at the end of the day, it's the value. You want to stay where the value is. You want to be seen to be relevant. You want to be seen to give the best of advice, to shape everything. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and it will keep getting better. In fact, if we have 100 music lawyers, we don't even have enough. But the sad thing is, if we do not develop this pool of lawyers, homegrown lawyers, to participate, the UK lawyers are just watching us. They're just 6 hours away, and it's an international business. They are going to keep scooping our talents, because they'll be like, oh, Nigerian lawyers are, they've not developed capacity. That's what they'll be telling you. But are we going to let them do that? So platforms like this, I believe, will be able to breed up enough lawyers to be able to match what is coming. What is coming is very big. Nobody has seen it. You can't even conceive it, because you might be thinking it will appear in 5 years' time, but it's possible it appears next year or in 2 years. So we are moving very fast, and this is the best time to participate. So let me encourage you. There are certain books that I think we need to get, and I'll run through some of those books, or you find some of them on Google and you get it for yourself. And to do a bit of looking at So I think everybody here needs to get a book called All You Need to Know About the Music Business. How many of us have it? Nobody. So we need to read a book like yesterday. Donald Passman. So that's like the Bible. He's a lawyer. He's a legend in the business. Donald Passman. So he's a legend in the business. One of the biggest to ever do it. Also, I think you need to get a book by Clive Davis. This is, if you really, really love the music business, you should get the book. Also, you should watch the documentary. I think it's Soundtrack of Our Lives. There's a right? Sir? Ma? Yeah, Soundtrack of Our Lives, yeah. He's a legend in the game. He's my role model. If God blesses me with a tenth of his career, I would sleep a happy man when I'm 90 or 90 plus. Eh? Clive Davis. If you're not sure, just Google it, you'll find it. He's a lawyer like us. He doesn't have two heads. But he is a strong pillar for the business. So there's also the documentary you should check out on Netflix. If you can do it this weekend, that's a massive resource you should consume. How many of us have Netflix? So some of us pay for all these things. We don't pirate. We're lawyers, So we send money to the industry so that our entertainers can have money. So do that this weekend, please, and give me a feedback. We can talk about it. Soundtrack of Our Lives, still by the same Clive Davis.
Documentary.
Yeah. 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 Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. And if I'm not correct, just Google it. You'll find everything. Then there is a documentary I think you should also check out. The Lion Sleeps Tonight. It talks about, it's on Netflix as well. It talks about the challenges faced by South African composer. How many of us have seen that? Did you cry? Did you cry? Tears of joy. Yeah, this was very emotional. And it's in real time, you'll feel the pains of the people you'll be representing. And you won't be able to take it. You'll be a gentleman and a gladiator at the same time for your clients. What does it mean to be a gladiator? You fight to the death for your clients. And some of us, we do that regularly. We win new enemies because we are so passionate for our clients. And then some of these clients, sometimes they will just do what clients do. And you be a gentleman for your client means you always look for ways to resolve issues and also help them make money. You shake hands on a lot of deals. Also, I think a good place to also check out would be a podcast by Gordon Fireman or Firemac, Entertainment Law. It's an entertainment law podcast. You need to be plugged into everything he said. Firemac or Fireman, Gordon Firemac, I think. Yeah, is like when I was starting out, I was always on that podcast. Then a good resource is also a channel on YouTube called Artist House. Artist, Artist House. There you would learn about the business fast. House. House. Artist, like Artist. So you would listen to experts in their different fields talking about what position they play in the business. And if anything catches your fancy, you dive deeper. So I'm sure you know this is a niche area. And the plan is to go deeper. You go deeper, that's where the money is. You want to be known for a specific solution. Like in this building already, I'm seeing people already building their own niche. She's a film lawyer. She works with a film company. She's a lawyer there. She's a music lawyer. We collaborate a lot. So the thing is, you want to be able to go deeper. It's not like I'm doing this. I'm helping people structure deals, funding, and people know me for that. I also want the same people to know that I'm a music publisher. I also want them to know that I represent sound engineers. No. When you start building your name and your clients, you want to be able to go deeper. And then you can have other relationships to handle things that you're not really passionate about. Like when I started, I was doing everything. But now, if you call me about anything film, I'll be like, oh, I know her. Just do this. And of course, as lawyers, we share money. Yeah? How many of you understand we need to share money? Yeah. Because some people will be calling you for templates. They'll be calling, Yemi, I read in paragraph, blah, blah, blah. I'll be like, why not just give me this job? And I'll give you a quote. That's what the Oyimbos do that we don't like to do. It's what we call referral. You're not even lifting a finger. It's just because you attracted that opportunity. And you sleeping on your bed, your colleague that knows it better than you, they do the job and you get a 30% or a 20%. And everybody's happy. And then you can keep oiling it. Because this person did well. Give me my 20% without stress. Anything film, just take. I'm not doing the work, but I'm attracting it. So, but a lot of Nigerian lawyers do not understand it. They want to do everything. Even in music law, you can't even do everything. You can't be the same guy to represent all classes of practitioners. You have to be able to, for you to have that name and own your own corner in the business, you need to stay where you are most valuable. Not today you're chasing everybody. If you're chasing, you're chasing 10 birds, how can you even get any? But if you're facing one, and this is where your catapult is, and you keep that same one, you get it. So I'm advising you, I don't like to sound like a motivational speaker, but this is a very, very important thing that we need to understand. Don't be the person that wants to do everything. Yeah, so also check out this website, African Music Law. It was very useful to my journey. That website changed the game for me. African Music Law, she's a Nigerian lawyer in California, and I think she probably doesn't even know how much she did for my career because she raised me. Every day I go to that website, I'm learning. As a young lawyer, you have 1,000,001 ideas flowing through your mind, but if you don't have a reference point, you might be confused. Like I'm happy that I do what I do. I've been able to make it clear for a lot of young lawyers that, you can, in fact, there are some young lawyers that I'm inspiring, and with the work they are doing, some of them are even smarter than qualified lawyers. Like they understand the contract, they understand the business. Because I've been able to bite, chew, make it into what is very digestible for them, and they just they start growing so fast. And sometimes I'm like, oh, you've not been called to the bar yet. And then some of them even start making money because the knowledge is big. See, this business, if you find your spot in less than 18 months, in less than, you can start to earn really, really good money in less than 18 months. So don't be fooled by wanting to have everything, do everything. No, know your position and play it, and just stick to it. So check out African Music Law. Very good. It's going to help you understand the Nigerian aspect of, entertainment, the confluence of entertainment law and business, and also all the different scenarios that usually play out. What else? So I think those resource materials are good for now, but you can also still go on Amazon, buy as many books as possible. I think I would recommend that you get a book on talent management. Any of the book with good reviews on talent management, because one of my mentors told me like 10 years ago, he said, is an American lawyer. He said, in America, we're building a new generation of lawyers that will be managers. And that is what is lacking in Nigeria. Like, to create sustainable careers, you need minders. Minders that understand the legal issues and the business. Okay, if anybody in this room was earning 10% of what any of these 25 superstars earn, because as a manager, you're going to be getting commissions. Just imagine you have just two talents that make nothing less than $200,000 every month, or even in a year. If you have two talents and you know that, oh, I'm building with these people, and they're able to make that kind of money. As a lawyer, that's something. And you're earning in dollars. Anybody that's earning in dollars now, there's a temptation for them to work with shoulder pads and they come the sometime like, you know who I am. Because our Naira needs help. So we need to, we need to understand it. The ecosystem of music, of film is denominated in dollars, and this industry can help Nigeria. Already with the social capital, we are winning. How many of us understand it? That by virtue of being Nigerian, sometimes when you even travel, when you go to places in Africa, people treat you like royalty. Because our ambassadors, our culture ambassadors are doing us proud. The filmmakers, all these skits, influencers, they are really, really helping to bring entertainment, joy, happiness to the lives of countless millions of people all over the world. And by extension, when people see you as a Nigerian, they just think there's something special about you. How many of us agree? So some of us were already disillusioned with being Nigerian, like you can't wait to. How many of us are processing our but this business can afford you a lifestyle that you've never imagined. I'm thankful to God that I'm working in this space. Hopefully, that can be the story of many people very soon. So I think I've touched on music law, and let me dive into the music contracts. Are we having a nice time? How many of us would apply all these things that we are talking about? We paid money to be here, so we shouldn't just hear all these fancy things and not take action. Yeah, so it's important in any business that there's structure, that there's certainty, that there are guarantees. To be able to earn a return on investment in music, we cannot run away from, doing deals properly, exchanging promises, and that is where we come in as lawyers. Somebody wants to sign a talent, He wants to spend like 100 million naira. Trust me, in this business, they've spent 100 million naira before they remember that, we need to do a record contract. Then they'll come to your office and they sit across the table. He's been with me for 2 years. I've been spending. Now he's misbehaving. And then you charge them maybe, bring so amount. Where has the cost though? But you've spent 100 million with no proper guarantees at the end of what you've spent. And that is those are some of the things that you would find in this space. Some people with money who want to be the guys that they will show at the end of every video, that they will be like, how many of us want to be that guy? At the end of the video, he's the boss. He's the one that paid. So that was what he saw. He was sitting in his maybe mansion in Parkview. And he saw at the end of the video, Don Jazzy is always like this. So he wanted to be Don Jazzy fast. But he didn't think there was a place for contracts. So he has spent his 100 million naira, and then the talents, you know how talents are. Fear them, they are the most cunning people you deal with. And I think it's in their DNA. That's what makes them special and creative. They always want to move fast. So loyalty is second nature to who they are. They are just creatives. And they always want it to be soft. If it's looking like it is a talent you've invested 200 million, can just forget that you spend that kind of money. And at the slightest opportunity, it's going to leave you stranded. As the investor, you will just bite it. You grab your hair out of your head, you will bite your fingernails, and you'll be left stranded. Seriously. Because even when they come to my office, I don't pity them anymore. Like, are you not in Nigeria? Have you not been seeing the news? This talent is fighting the label. Every day there's a fight. So it tells you the nature of the people you are dealing with. So the importance of contracts, we can't even stress it enough. For you to be able to commit yourself to certain things, you want to have the assurance that this person will do a couple of things for me. That's what makes it a contract. There's an offer, acceptance. I can't be teaching lawyers that, Nabi. Yes. So that's a given. The place of contracts, we can't even start to discuss it. And there are many, many contracts because there are many, many transactions. And like I said earlier, you have to understand the business so that you know what is applicable at different points in time. And how many of us understand that, I should have said that earlier. Not everybody here, I assume, wants to be an entrepreneur, setting up shop as, like I'm doing. Not everybody wants to have a law firm. Some of us just want to work in film companies and music companies. Some of us want to go to court as well. Do we have litigators in the building? So, honestly, this is also big money for people who love to go to courts because we don't have enough. Now, my assignment to you would be, do you know, in the UK, in America, like, from litigation, big people become, you don't even have to be a silk in the UK to be multi-millionaire. If you are that guy that knows how to drag all these big players by their neck or their... Somebody said it. I was trying to keep it clean. So, if you know how to drive them by the scruff of their neck and at the same time by their... So, you will be the guy. And we need more people like that. A lot of these big sons, they'll be like, entertainment law cannot pay them. Some of them are mistaken. And the funny thing is, if people already have a genuine, worked out way of making bread, of getting paid, this will not be an attractive area of practice for them. So you can be many things with this information now. You can set up a law firm, you can work in-house. And working in-house is something that I'm really, really commending to you people that you should also look out for. A lot of these guys, they're already making money, but there's no structure. If I start mentioning names of people who just have catalogs upon catalogs, there's no paper trail to show ownership. Some of the people we revere, If they drop dead today, their catalog is going to be in a mess. They won't be able to even transfer the wealth in their catalog to their kids because there's no structure. And a lot of value will be lost. Thousands upon thousands of dollars will be lost. A lot of the big names we celebrate now, there is no structure at all. So we have our work cut out. Some of us can come into the scene and just clean up their mess and try to make it right before they pass on or leave the scene. I have some clients that are gnashing their teeth, like for 25 years of active participation in the business, they have K-leg in every area of their business. And sometimes I can't be going back in time to try to remedy certain things when, all these young talents that are starting well are already generating results. It's going to take a lot of my time to just be going back in time to try and clean up people's mess. So those are the three ways you can, really, really be a part of this industry as an entrepreneur or as a partner who owns a law practice. Number one, you can be in-house, work in music law firms, and many of them are coming. Like this week alone, I had like 2 different meetings with international companies coming to Nigeria to set up. And we need to be prepared. We don't want it to be the case of they have to ship in professionals from the UK or the US. And then the dollars that you should be making, somebody else is. How many of you share that same sentiment? So we need you to be prepared. And I'll briefly go through all the different contracts. Like I said earlier, understanding the business is the foundation for being able to tap in to say, hey, this is the relevant contract. And another thing I need to say is there are already many, many platforms that would offer you templates. Some will do it for free, and some will do it at a very, very ridiculous amount, which is very cheap. So you could just Google it. You will find some music contract sites. Just Google music contracts, and you will find like 3. So if you need anything sharp, instead of, maybe drawing up a contract from the scratch, we're trying to monetize time. Just go on those platforms. I've paid for many contracts that I didn't have the time to draw up from the scratch. And I went there and they were very useful and fit for purpose. So let me give you a brief, I'll run through some of the contracts and I'll touch on certain points. And then I think we'll be able to take questions as well. So recording contracts, that's number one. Ideally, those contracts, there are different types of recording contracts. There's what we call the 360. The 360 is the label, the recording company wants to participate in all the streams attached to the talents. So let me it's not a picture. A talent makes money in different ways. I'll check the ones I can remember now. From doing shows, which is like the biggest bag. That's where they make the most money and the fastest money. How many of you know Portable? It's a prime example of what live show money can do. It can just take you from the trenches of Agege or Mushin or whatever, and then you can actually build things just under 3-6 months. You can become really, really rich. And that's show money. That's what it does. If you have a trending, buzzing sound, even, how many of you have heard this song? So that song, that guy is in Dubai, just on the back of having a song. So if you have a big song like that, everybody wants a piece of you. And Nigerians are scattered all over the world. And people don't want to miss out on the action. If they see that you're trending in Nigeria, the diaspora community will just keep coming for you. And even if you're not even the biggest artist, you could already be making from like $3,000 to like $20,000. They'll say, oh, come for a club appearance. You're the rave of the moment. Please get your bag with sense, sharp. Don't even think it would be there for too long because we've seen too many people have their day in the sun and think it will be like that forever. Nah. With proper guidance from lawyers like you, we will be able to do will be to extend, the exploitation of your moment in the sun. Let's try and extend it as much as possible. Or let's try to move you to a better station in life. A person like Portable, I'm not sure this time last year is who he is now, but show money. Oh God. Sometimes I want to be a musician. I'll just do 2 hours and sweat. Although it's not easy. Never easy. But the upsides. If you arrive at the exclusive club, the upsides are a lot. Not too many businesses pay like that. Like you can just pick a bag, 50 here. Oh, I want to do 3 shows in East Africa. Okay, coordinate with the promoter, pick my 50K here, pick 60, pick 30. And I'm rushing back to Nigeria to cool off. That is show money as an example of where the streams are. And the recording contract, a 360 agreement, they want a piece of that. Also, you're the buzzing guy. Okay, come and do a deal with any of these big beverage companies. And then they give you another bag. Another bag would be music publishing. Because the song is so big, it's charting in 50 countries. I'm trying to describe all the different streams of income. Okay. The publishing bag, your record label wants a piece of that as well. Are you with me? I've mentioned how many streams of income now. Show money, brand partnerships with beverage companies. Now music publishing is also something. Also, even after getting signed, there are certain people we call the majors. The majors also will come. So the majors are, who knows the majors here? In the music business, there are 3 companies that are the biggest. They're the wealthiest. And Warner. Yeah, I'm happy that we have some people who already know. So you guys should look up who the 3 majors are. They've been here for decades and they have deep pockets and they can transform people's lives. Like this. They can make you an oracle, an icon. So when a Nigerian company signs you to a 360 deal, they would also want to participate in the profit when any of the majors come to sign you. So that's what a 360 contract is. And that's a record contract. Also, another example of a record contract is a single song contract, which is, okay, let's just do 1 song. Let's see what that leads to. We'll exercise the option to extend it, to extend the relationship if it works. So I'm going to briefly take on all these contracts and then I would touch on the important things to look out for as much as I can, because I would never be able to even talk about a recording contract per se. There are too many clauses. We would not be able to touch on other things. Licensing agreements. So the business of music is very dependent on licensing. What is licensing? Who wants to take a stab at that? What is licensing?
It's giving the right to someone to giving someone the right to use your your product or your song, okay, your music for a limited period.
Thank you very much. So a licensing agreement is just granting permission or consent. authorizing someone. Okay, go ahead, exploit it, enjoy it. But again, there has to be something at the end of that. What is in it for you? So people will pay licensing fees. There'll be a licensor and a licensee. I think we like all those kind of legalese. So licensing fees are the new in thing. In the music business, catalogs are very, very valuable. During the lockdown, a lot of people were selling their catalogs outrightly, while some people were licensing it. In fact, that changed the nature of the business. So now people are very, very slow to give away ownership. Rather, they would license it. So the catalogs that you are building in your active years are going to be much more valuable years down the line. How many of you know that copyrights, they exist for a very long time? I will still touch on that, but it can be very valuable. During the lockdown, the game changed. A lot of people could not get the bags they were getting from doing shows. And then they came to the realization that, oh, my catalog, how much am I making from my catalog? So your catalog should be able to make you money even while you're sleeping. The catalogs of Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, the Beatles, they probably make more money than some people that are living and toiling from 9 to 5. So those catalogs are owned by dead people. But every year you see them on the Forbes list. Oh, this person's catalog made 30 million this year. Whereas some people are alive and toiling in Lagos traffic and stressing with their BP shooting through the roof. So I'm just trying to stress how valuable catalogs are. Like now, I think the most valuable catalog from Nigeria is who? Who wants to? Yeah. So Fela's catalog is amazing. It's been used in many, many productions. It's been used in American films and all of that. Like, and anytime they're using any piece of his catalog, they're always paying him. Could be as small as $6,000 and it could be as big as six figures. That's how valuable catalogs are. So licensing is very, very important. And for you to be able to review a licensing agreement, you must understand the business of licensing. And please, if you don't know it, partner with people that know. Trust me, the things I know this year, I think I had to partner with a lawyer in the UK. You're recording, Abby? Oh, I don't want to say this, but that lawyer has changed my life. The information that he's giving me, it would have taken me more years to understand it. Trust me, the music ecosystem in Nigeria is not anywhere close. He sees more contract than I do. Same thing, I also have an American partner. The contracts they see every day, I probably see like once in a year. So our level of exposure to some of this is not the same. So as a lawyer who wants to work in music, understand the things you don't know. Don't cut your clients, don't injure your client's interest just because your ego would not let you ask other people that know better than you do. Look at all these big stars. Sometimes they don't know enough. And then you see for defending somebody, they will pack like 20 sands. Why are they packing each other like that? In fact, some of the research, who is doing all the research? So we can't, we should be very logical. I understand. You want to make money. You probably want all the commissions yourself, but really, why not deepen your understanding of the business by forging relationships that are mutually beneficial? This other lawyer is more experienced than you are, and he's done the deal times and times over before you. See, there are some contracts you will see. You read, you sleep, eat. You'll be like, investor vibes. You'll be like, how can I? See, you will not understand it. Buy all the books. Read all the templates. You will not understand it like someone that has done those type of transactions over and over. So that's why when I see a lawyer that is maybe doing other areas of practice, when they are begging me for templates, I'm very quick to forward it. See, it's not me you're doing. You're doing yourself because you can never understand it the way I do. And I'm talking to some of you. Is it the camera for Zoom? Some of you want to keep the money to yourself and you're cutting your client's interest and you're going to be injuring them. So licensing agreements, bulky, sometimes you will see a 36-pager. You will not finish reviewing it in a week. Your head is going to be dangling like, hey, God, why not just get some other people involved? Two good heads are better than one at all times. That's good heads. So yeah, again, record producer agreements is my bread and butter. Like, you find me here, I'm happy to be here. I do a lot of record producer agreements. It's always a pleasure. With record producers, you have to be able to understand what it means to be a composer of music. Beat makers, instrumentalists, what does it mean? What should you look out for in a record producer agreement? You want to look out for the publishing interest in the record. You also want to look out for exclusivity. So now somebody is trying to use your production. Are they going to be the only ones that will be able to use it? I hope you understand it. So you come up with a beat. Can you sell it to 10 people? The 10 people should pay you like $200. And then you make $2,000. Or do you want to sell it exclusively to just one person? And if you sell it to that one person, do you want to retain the right to maybe after 5 years be able to sell that same beat? So there are different ways to set up a record producer agreement. The exclusivity is very important. And I tell clients, understand the power of your copyright. The same beat can be sold to 100 people. Maybe you could sell it for like $100 and you'll be making how much? 100 times 100, that's $10,000. And then it could be there. Other people can keep licensing it. Do you understand that? Or do you just want just one person to sit on your beats? The risk in doing that is that if the person doesn't promote it well, after some time, the record will peak and then you can't exploit it again. I hope I'm saying things you can understand.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you have a question?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I think I'm not joining your program.
No.
But I've been hearing you talk and I kind of get confused at times. What is the difference between the publishing rights and the rights to the master?
Yeah, so I'm going to touch on that specially. But now I just want to quickly run through all the contracts, and then there are certain things you should understand and know to help you. Do you already work in a music company?
Actually, no, I don't. Why
Oh, great. Don't worry, we'll come into that. Yeah, thanks. If anybody also has any comments, this is not the main question and answer session, but if you want to draw me back to a point, I'll be happy to listen. In the absence of that, it's important that you understand it when you join up record producer agreements. Also, there's what we call the distribution agreement, the music distribution agreement. Just like it means distribution. How does music find its way to the stores? Somebody has to distribute it. So you want to know, okay, what is the sharing percentage going to look like for helping me distribute? How many stores? Also, is it limited by territory? With distribution agreements, you can say, okay, just distribute in Africa. Somebody else will do it for me in Asia. Somebody else will do it for me in America. Somebody else will do it for me in Europe. So distribution agreements can be, interesting. There are different elements to it. Let me see. Songwriter agreements. How many of us understand what songwriters do? Yeah. So, see, there's a lot of reading to be done. If you really want to understand this business, you have to understand the ecosystem. What songwriters do. Songwriters bring lyrics and music together in a manner that it communicates an emotional. It communicates an emotional. No, it communicates an emotion. So songwriting is a very, very interesting aspect of the business that I'm very, very vested in because when you create songs, those songs are assets. This same song, in the morning, early in the morning, all right. Just Too Funny can sing it in his own funny way. In the morning, yeah. There can be different performance of that song, and you can create many copyrights from that song. So I'm just using this example so you understand it. Oh, somebody wrote that chorus. That is a regular staple in Nigerian devotion now. But from that song, there can be many other copyrights. You perform and you record yours, you perform and you record yours, you perform and record yours, and it is generating. If everybody records and put it on distribution platforms, it's going to generate money, what we call royalties. So I'm still going to expand on sound recording and what? And compositions and the business that is attached to the two of them. And that's where I think I want to say a lot because that's where, if you understand it, you'll be able to move with more precision in the business. Understood? How many of us are bored already? So let me talk about publishing agreements. Who is a music publisher? A music publisher is always looking to build a catalog. Okay, so he understands that songwriters are very important, and the end product of his relationship with songwriters is to build a catalog. What is a catalog? A catalog. It's a collection of songs. It's a body of work. When it is all said and done, you want to look back. Oh, in my active years, these are the songs of my catalog. My first album has 10 songs. My second album has 20 songs. I did an EP of 4 songs. Year 5, I did an album of 7 songs. Year 6, I did 2 EPs of 5 songs. That's what a catalog is. When it's all said and done, people should be able to look back. Oh, this is my body of work. And I see music as real estate. Yes, you have to understand it. Music, intellectual property, or copyrights should be treated like real estate. On real estate, there's a song you do, it doesn't take off, maybe it lands in Ikorodu, and it's generating 10,000 naira per month. This is a song that did not blow. But like Portable, you have a song that landed in Banana Island, and it is giving you $10,000 every month. That's the power of music. If a song takes off, or like Bugana, a song that is that big can generate as much as $40,000 every month for the label and the artist to share. Just in master recording royalties. I'm not even talking about publishing. It could be more. You understand it? So a music publisher looks at it like, oh, I want to be able to own or license all these albums for a period of time. And myself and the songwriter would have a split. Together we'll work to build more catalog. Together we'll work to build the career and the standing of the songwriter. So essentially the job of a music publisher is really like in two parts. Number one, to sign up talent and build them up and say, hey, this guy is special. He's able to write choruses and verses. He's able to communicate emotion through music. I need to sign him up and develop him. Number two, it's about expanding the catalog. Okay, you met the songwriter when he had just 2 projects and he showed a lot of promise. And you're thinking, oh, I can make him more successful by pitching him with the best of hands. Remember, music is very collaborative. Just to get one album on a particular song, you can see 16 songwriters. How many of us look at credits? So it is very, very collaborative. So those are the 2 things that music publishers will do. They want to be able to sign up songwriters who have shown proof of concept that they are fantastic, and then they want to create more. It's like, oh, you discovered an oil well, and this is generating how many bags of crude? 10,000 tons or 10,000 gallons. So you want to keep prospecting for more. Where these 2 came from, we can get more. So that's what a publisher does. And that is why all these majors are very, very powerful. They have millions of songs under their care that keeps generating rent. So this property that is in Ikorodu is giving 10,000 naira. This property in Banana Island is giving $10,000. Maybe this property in central London is also generating like 20,000 pounds. And then the majors, they just have all these kind of assets. See, immediately Nigeria wakes up to the realization that music catalogs can be very, very valuable. They will start to, really, really pay attention to this creative space. Like, hey, Nigerians, let's build up more Don Jazzies. Let's build up more Wizkids. Because look at these 3 majors. If you look at their books, they can buy countries. Oh. If you know how much they make on a monthly basis, some countries' GDP cannot. How many of you agree with me? Like even Sonny, Wana, and these people have bags. They make a lot of money. So you people need to understand it. The way real estate generates rent is how music catalogs generate what we call licensing fees and music royalties. If anybody has any questions, I would like to take it at this point. Yeah. I'm not done running through the contracts, but I just think what I said, likening. All right.
First of all, I have one confession. So I am one of the people that are calling to ask for templates. And yes, he did say this. So, but my question is this. So someone asked me on recent, just like some of the stories you said, that he has should I say a talent that he works for, is slaving for that talent, and he wants an agreement to show that in the future, so that talent should not just ditch him in the future. So what kind of agreement fits into that thing? Then someone said...
Is the person a lawyer?
No, the person is not a lawyer.
So what does the person do?
The person is also in the industry. I think the person manages talent.
Okay.
So the person wants that.
All right.
And the person is also need to produce it. So it's like I produce the beats, I manage him. So I just want an agreement that encompasses that.
Yeah.
So please, I'd like you to share. Then also, someone asks for... There's this weird thing. I think you posted on it before in Instagram page. Something about an agreement that if I invest in you, you won't leave me. There was a kind of term that they used for it. I can't remember that particular term now. But you posted it before. I think that like a don't leave me agreement or something like that. Please can you share more light?
Okay. Thank you for that. It's restrictive. That you shouldn't leave me.
Something like a restrictive covenant.
Okay, I thought you were condemning it. Like, why should we do that?
You have the right to protect your own.
Exactly. Trust me, you have to protect yourself. Even as lawyers, everyone is trying to shaft you. The industry is very interesting because you always have to look over your shoulders because everybody's just trying to like get an advantage on you. Even your clients are trying to. So yes, the first question, you have to understand what your role is. If you're a talent manager, if you're a record producer, and you are invested in a particular recording artist in the hopes that, hey, this guy's going to blow up one day, what I usually advise everybody is that attach yourself to the end product as much as you can. So if you're a record producer, you don't want to be left stranded because even if the person stops saying hello and hi, or how are you? Have you eaten? If the person stops picking your call, as far as the record is generating money and funneling into your account, you really don't care. If you're a talent manager and you are sure that, oh, I'm managing this talent for 3 years, even if he sacks me in the first year, all the work that I did, I helped him get a record deal, I helped him get an endorsement deal, I helped him get a publishing deal. Any deal I helped him get, I want to be attached to that deal or the end product of that deal. So let me give you an example. And in the music industry in Nigeria, talent managers are not that suffered, like a thankless job that they will slave, they break an artist. The next thing the artist will do in less than a year or two is trying to yank him off or yank her off. And this thing has played too many times. But what I think can help is you should be prepared for it as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. Attach yourself to the end product. So if you are doing any deals, you got an endorsement deal with maybe any of the biggest telcos and they're paying up front 30 million. Or if they renew, if they extend the contract the second year, they will pay another 50 million because it's always going up. What you would do as a talent manager is attach yourself to that money. I'll get my commission, maybe 10, 20% of the 30 million the first year. If they renew, I would also get mine. So even if you're no longer in the picture, there is already a document that guarantees with certainty that you would participate in the profits. Same thing. If you're a record producer, make sure you write yourself into the assets. Your publishing interest is guaranteed. Your share of the master royalties is guaranteed as well. So in the event that the relationship is no longer existing, you really do not care and you are benefiting.
So which of the contracts are you going to do that now?
With the talent management agreement, you do that. With the record producer agreement, if you're a record producer, you will do that. If you're a talent manager, in a talent management agreement, you will do that. So with talent management agreement, there's also something we call the sunset clause. Yeah, the sunset clause. Yeah. So when the sun is setting, it's gradually disappearing. How many of us, who understands the meaning? Does anybody want to? Yeah. So your first year, you are in a relationship with a talent for 3 years. And in 3 years, your commission was 10% or 20%. Let me use 20%. So after the expiration of that period, 1 year later, after the expiration, you are still entitled to some commissions on certain streams of income. So before you were getting 20%, but 1 year later, now you're no longer at 20%. You've moved down to 10%. 2 years later, you drop down to 5%. 3 years later, you sunset to 2. And then the third year, you're no longer in the picture. And this is usually very good because if you were instrumental to breaking an artist and the artist becomes A-list, usually it is up and up and up. the bags become bigger, the benefits become better. Although it's not always the case because some people dip too early. If you see any entertainer in this space in film and music that has been around for more than 10 years, the person is special because every other year there's a new guy fresher than you, more good looking, toast of the ladies is going to get all the attention, and it is your sustainability or your networks or your supporting pillars that would make sure that you stay relevant and useful. Trust me, every other year there's a new guy that is funnier, that is more quick on his feet, that's more appealing, that would always come. So maybe in 5 years, you used to be that guy. In 5 years, there are 4 new guys that are like you, that are also going to be competing with you. I'm saying what everybody knows, right? So like now, God has been good to me in entertainment law. I was doing everything in entertainment law. And then 4 years ago, I woke up to the realization that I want to do everything now. Because now all these youngins, they're also calling themselves entertainment lawyers. And every year, the law school is churning out like another 10,000 people. The lawyers, yeah? Are they up to 10,000? I think 5,000, like 6,000, yeah? And now, every 6,000, 1 out of 10 of them is saying, I want to be an entertainment lawyer. So that's 600 new competition for me. Entertainment law. Some of you are here now. Some of you want my clients. So what did I do? I will not call myself entertainment lawyer again. Now I'm a music lawyer. I started using music lawyer. Now there's a new group again that I'm inspiring. Music law. And that is just the nature of this business. It's getting bigger, it's getting better, and you have to be ready for it. Understood? So the second question,
Yeah, don't leave me agreement.
well,
Just call it that.
I think what I've said also covers it. As an investor, as a record label owner, be ready for the worst. These people will leave you. And be ready to just attach yourself to the end product of whatever you created together. It's like you're having babies, the wife can go. How many of us believe the wife can go? Your wife should not go. It's not a prayer. But you have kids, you want your kids at all times. And you want to be able to, maintain your connection to your kids. So same thing with music. These people will go. It is a cutthroat business. If you're not ready for the business, don't even start it. Because everybody's coming for you. As a lawyer now, immediately your client is progressing, your best friend that is also a music lawyer will be smiling, liking all his page, dropping comments. Just to register an impression. Which is, if your lawyer know they do you well, and that's it. So let me keep, I hope we're having a nice time. All right. I think I've touched on some of the important contracts. I was talking about publishing. Now, I also touched on talent management agreement. And, okay, so there's also another one I want to talk about, the endorsement or brand partnership agreements. So usually what are agreements? Okay.
Sorry, before you move ahead, I don't know if you can make a clarification on the practical distinction between a record label and music publisher.
Okay, so they actually do the same things, which I'm still coming to. I don't want to talk about this very important thing and not really unpack it. But they do almost similar things. It's just that the end product is different. The end product is different. I'm still coming to it. Yeah, so with the brand partnership and endorsement agreement, it is about the exploitation of the reputation. It's about the image. So in the music business, the two most important assets are number one, the copyrights, or the musical work. And then number two, the reputation. The reason why people will show up for a whiskey show is the reputation. You understand? We might as well have somebody come sing all whiskey songs. But why would I come to a whiskey show? It's the reputation, the image of the guy. That, hey, that's what fills up the stadium. There are people who sing better than whiskey. There are people who perform better. But they are not whiskey. It is based on his reputation for excellence, for dropping bangers year in, year out. That's why I'm coming out in the cold to stand in line to get a ticket. These people are exploiting his image. They've said he'll be here. I'm traveling from Ibadan, coming to Lagos for a whiskey show. Some people would even travel interstate or inter-country. There's a show going on in Ghana. My idol, Jay-Z, will be performing. I'm leaving Abuja. I'm getting on the flight to Accra, Ghana to see him live. Why did I do that? Because of his reputation. Oh, his shows are always good. I'll see the guy that inspires me. His record was what got me through secondary school, uni. It is the reputation. So those are the two most important things. And I want to land on this point. And when it comes to the brand partnership agreement, they see that this guy is a superstar. And queuing up behind him are millions of people who believe in anything he believes, in his values. They enjoy his personality. They feel emotionally attached to who he is. If he tells you, oh, this is the best shirt, go and buy it. It's a Puma shirt. Next thing, everybody's rushing the product. If the person says, go copy it, link in my bio, everybody's going there. So that's what a brand partnership agreement is looking to exploit, the reputation of the talent. So there are different ways in which these things are structured. Some of them are exclusive. If we do a deal with any beverage company, we can't see in public enjoying another product because we are paying you to influence your fan base to patronize or to buy more of what we are selling. How many of us understand that? So that's essentially what a brand partnership is. Also, in that contract, they will give a stern warning that if you misbehave, if you get drawn into any controversial circumstances, maybe allegations of rape, we'll cut you off. If you do anything that will put us in disrepute, we'll cut you off. You give us back our money. Some do that. So, I think that is what I would like to explain on that brand partnership agreements. Yeah, you can talk. Can you project more? Yeah, project so that I can hear you. Okay. Three questions. Okay. Last us. Yeah.
Now, I want to believe there was an agreement. So my question is, what type of agreement or what types of agreements they have used to cover that scenario? I kind of have an idea they would have had a licensing agreement, for instance. So are there other agreements they must have had? Then, if we are acting for the vaccine, how do you ensure that whenever has a lot of songs that are currently doing very well? So how do you ensure that get maximum royalties from exploitation of that particular track? And then maybe we are Warner Boy, we are kind of the artists of the moment, we are making money. How do you also ensure that the vaccine, the agreement you have with the vaccine does not encroach into the other revenues that you make from the other songs? And then also,
You've already asked three. And I'm storing it in my. I'm just storing the question. Okay, go on. Okay. Sir, you know him from law school.
Just answer the ones you remember.
No, I think the questions are very connected. So even just like me making like 3-4 statements, I'll cover everything. So the thing is, I said the business is very dependent on licensing. So it's about consent, giving authorization and approval. So if you want to sample anything that is already in existence, you just need the person's permission. And that should be covered in a licensing agreement, ideally. So if you want to sample anybody, you have to get a license. Because when you're clearing music, there's something we call music clearance. People will study what you created as a recording artist, and then they would be like, oh, I think you borrowed this from this. We can't go to the marketplace if we do not get their permission. But in Nigeria, there are some rock stars that even blew up in Nigeria from just sampling other people, and they didn't even get any license. But now the world is a little smaller. You can't be copying people without their permission. Because if you do, that's an infringement. You can't commercially exploit people's music without getting their permission. So a licensing agreement will take care of that. And it could be in different forms. A licensing agreement would not usually say, this is a licensing agreement. It could be a record producer agreement. It could be a split ship. You understand? So that will take care of that.